Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Aspire to Inspire. Today's special guest is nonetheless working actress Aryn Wright Thompson. Some of her film credits include appearing on films such as Overcomer, Don't You Tell a Soul, and The Wonder Years, which is currently streaming and out there in the world. And I am just so excited to be interviewing this young lady. She is honestly a bright light, and I'm going to bring her onto our virtual stage so you guys can get a gist of who she is and what she's about. Hi, Aryn. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for having me. I'm honored.
Oh, thank you for joining. Honestly, without further ado, we're just here to highlight you and your accomplishments and your journey as a working actress. And I'm sure you do much more. So without further ado, I like to ask my guest this very first question. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Yeah, so currently I'm a first year at Spelman College, an English major with a minor in political science, and come from Sanford, North Carolina. Right now, my goal is to get into educational law to help with Black children's education and making sure that they're getting everything they need. Um, Another thing about me is I've danced for about 13 years. I love to dance. I like to sing. I love to write music. I just love writing in general, which is why I'm super excited about my major. And that's pretty much it. I love French fries. I love Chick-fil-A. And that's that's pretty much it about me.
No, for sure. I love it. You're like an everyday type of girl, honestly. And it's so cool because not only are you just an actress, but you're exposed to so much and you're making, you know, doing everything you can with the time that you have. And I admire that you talked about some of your hobbies that you like to dance, and writing is so essential. And oh my gosh, thank you for sharing. I love asking my guests that type of question.
Thank you
And
for asking the
yeah,
question.
of course. And just to dive a little bit deeper, what or was there a moment in your career or in your life, so to say, that drew you to want to start acting as a profession? Or was there a moment that drew you to want to start writing or dancing?
Mhm. I think dancing was kind of just always a part of my life. I started dancing when I was around 3 years old, and then competitively is when I started competitively when I was about 8. So that's why I just tell people 13 years or just because I don't know the exact time stamp. But dancing was just always a part of my life, and then writing also is just a gift that I believe God gave me. I started writing since I was been writing since I was a little girl, and then acting is something that I don't feel like God necessarily gave to me as soon as I was born, so to speak. So that definitely came from my mom. She put me and my brother in theater classes, community theater classes, and that was really cool. And I was like, man, I really want to do this. And I remember telling her, me and my brother told her, yeah, we want to be on Disney Channel one day. And so that's how that started. And now I love doing it. We both love doing it, and it's just been an amazing journey.
Yeah, and I love it. It all starts with everyone dreaming of being on Disney, to say the
Mhm.
least. But
Mhm.
what sets you aside from that is that you continue to keep going and you're still doing this, while balancing everything else. Is something that I really admire about you. You want to do so much, and
Mhm.
it's admiring to see you do it all. You're a Spelman woman, you're writing, you're dancing, and you're still acting. That's what a lot of people, I'll say, I look up to those individuals who are able to
Thank you.
balance.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course, of course. We're here to highlight you and your accomplishments. And just to stay on the topic of acting for a bit and then transitioning into your other hobbies. A lot of people believe that, acting is an overnight success, especially with individuals who say, oh, I want to do what they're doing, but they're like
Yeah.
on the channel and they're just,
Yeah.
not so to say or well trained in particular fields, but it takes a while to get to that status.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of misconceptions that people have about the job as an actor. In your opinion, what is one of the major misconceptions that you've heard from individuals who just assume that when I'm an actor or when you're an actor, I have X, Y, and Z?
Mhm. I think the biggest misconception is being an overnight success. I
Yeah.
think you definitely hit that on the head. Even in college, I've gotten that a lot. "Oh, that's so cool that you do that," I wanna do that too, and I'm like, of course, I encourage people to do that. Yes, you have to do it, but even when I start the journey with them of how to do it, it's like, "Whoa, I thought this was easier." It's not as simple as finding an agent or, maybe even getting headshots done. This is real work. And I even noticed like people maybe at not at my school, but maybe at other schools or people that I meet in my daily life will try to diminish that or try to say it's not as much work as it is. So I think that's definitely one the biggest misconception is how hard the journey is.
Yeah, and that is so important. Everyone's journey is different. Everyone
Mhm.
has their way to get to where they desire to be. But to
Mhm.
understand that it's a lot of hard work behind
Yeah.
it, just like anything in life, anything worth achieving is
Yeah.
hard work, dedication, and it's patience to get to where you
Mhm.
want to go.
Yeah.
So, it's not their fault if they don't know.
Mhm.
Hey, a
Yeah.
lot of people don't understand the business, but to make that clear from the beginning, that's like
Mhm.
super essential. And I have a
Yeah.
lot of viewers who are beginning actors or want to know about the craft. So
Yeah.
I genuinely really appreciate you sharing your honest opinion on
Mhm.
it takes time and there's a lot of training that goes into it.
Yeah.
Not
And
an
and
overnight.
even to speak on that, like, when I say the journey is not an overnight success, I believe that anybody can be an actor and actress. It's just when you guys start this journey, understand that it's not gonna be easy. I feel like I've cried more in this business from being told the word no than being super happy because I heard a yes.
Right.
I can count the amount of times I've been happy in this business, and I've been so sad because I've heard so many no's, and I can't even count those because it's been so many times. So,
Mm,
it's speaking on that, anybody can do this. I believe anybody can do this, and if you ever need advice, I like to give people advice, so, you can always DM me on Instagram, but, I believe anybody can do it, but just be ready to hear a lot of no's, but when you get that yes, I promise you it's gonna feel beautiful.
right. Listen, honestly, girl, that was perfect. Honestly, everything you said, oh, just so genuine and so upfront and honest. I love that. I love that. Love that. Thank you for
Thank
sharing that, girl. And just transitioning from, being an actor to the roles that you've played.
Mhm,
And, I think it's so amazing that there's a growth for
mhm,
everyone in this business to see where they were originally started versus to where they are now and all the
mhm.
projects that you've done. I want to ask you, Aryn, is there a particular role that you've played that really stuck home to you? And, please feel free to share.
Honestly, I think be I think I'm gonna have to choose Kathy on The Wonder Years, even though
Right.
that wasn't a big, big role like Overcomer, it was still a role that was harder for me to portray because it was in a earlier time, different clothing, but just trying to figure out how to fit into the scenes was definitely, a hard task for me, especially since at that point I hadn't acted in so long. So that
Right.
one really stuck with me, and I'm really proud of myself because that's when I was like, "Man, I think I'm a good actress." Like, "Man, I'm kinda good at this." Like, but even Overcomer, I think Overcomer was the one who taught me to believe in my craft. So, both of those stick with me, but right now, I give it to The Wonder Years.
The Wonder Years, yes. And guys, please check her out in the episode of The Wonder Years. I remember because, oh, it's so funny how this industry works.
Mhm,
Before reaching out and asking you to be on this platform, I saw
mhm,
your episode and I was all like,
mhm.
what? No way. And it was just really, really cool to see you on there doing your thing. And also, Overcomer and The Wonder Years are two completely different, if I
Yeah,
still say genres in a sense.
yeah,
So
yeah.
for you to have that range, for you to be able to learn so much from that experience versus the one you were currently in right now, being the Wonder Years, I am so sure that you've learned so much and was able to soak it all in, enjoy your time while you were there.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much, thank you, but yeah,
Yeah,
it was
of
I
course.
think and I give it to the Wonder Years right now because I've never been good at, like, the fake laughing or acting like you're drinking or eating something, and I was having to really do that here because the camera was, like, on me at different points. So I was like, "Okay, okay, let me get myself together." So I was definitely nervous for that part, but the people I was working with, they definitely did an amazing job at making me feel comfortable, so it was an awesome experience.
Yeah, and I bet it was. Thank you so much for sharing that. I think it's so cool to hear from people's experiences on set,
Mhm,
especially a booming show just like The Wonder Years.
mhm,
It's just the representation that's there and being able to, see that
mhm,
here and now. It's a beautiful thing. And just transitioning from that question, we all have people that we look up to, kind of carrying on the fact about representation and needing to see that, especially for people who want to start this career, or just for people in general who just want to see predominantly Black cast, or just a lighthearted story about a Black family in, the South, years and years ago, just touching on that. I would like to ask you, Aryn, in a sense, where I'm trying to get at is that, we all have people or actors or directors that we look up to in the business, people that whose careers we like to emulate and stuff.
Mhm.
So I ask you, Aryn, who's someone in your life or someone that you look up to, so to say?
I would have to give it to Shonda Rhimes.
Mm,
I give it to her because every single show that we've watched of hers has been amazing.
right.
I feel like a lot of times, especially now that I really wanna get into the writing field,
Mm,
I feel sometimes I'm like, "Man, eventually I'm gonna get burnt out. Eventually, I'm not gonna have all this creativity," but she shows us that creativity never stops.
exactly.
Creativity is always growing. Creativity is always evolving and changing as we change, so it may look different at different times, but creativity will always be there, and I think
Yeah.
I find even when I'm writing songs, some days I just can't write songs, but I have to force myself to because to be a creative, to work as a creative, you have to work on your creativity. So it's just something that you have to keep improving, something that you have to keep working on. And I think I've came up with different things. I'm like, oh, I didn't know that was in my brain. And it's just like you just keep working on it and you keep developing yourself as a writer, as an actor, and you're like, man, wait, creativity never really stops. So that's definitely why I say her, because she's shown me that creativity it's always going to be there. You just have to be willing to develop it. And I love her, and she's such a genius. So
Yeah,
yeah.
honestly. Oh, what a time for her right now. Honestly,
Yes.
be a female writer and just giving us one show after the next and after the
Mhm.
next, just showing
Yeah.
us that it's possible. I think that's
Yeah.
just the most
Um,
beautiful part about Shonda Rhimes. She's showing us and everyone that it's possible to continue
yeah.
putting yourself out there and breaking those barriers that's been up for so long.
Yeah. I'm so sorry for the background noise. I'm in my dorm.
No,
I try to get good lighting because we don't have any places with good lighting. So if you hear background noise, I'm so sorry.
hey, no, it's okay. It's perfectly fine. Listen, I've had guests who had to do it in their kitchen versus their
Mhm.
bedroom. And listen, no need to apologize. We're all
Yeah.
good. I'm just really glad to have you here and touch on your journey. And honestly, I have a few more questions for you, if that's okay. My
Mhm.
next question for you is, the entertainment industry is always changing, and you kind of touched
Yes.
on this in the beginning about how you're exposing yourself to so much in regards to writing and being in front of the camera. So I ask you, with the entertainment industry always changing and always evolving, where do you desire to see yourself 5 to 10 years in the future?
Whew. I'm gonna go with 10 years. In 10 years, I hope to see myself with my own production company, and in that, not only making movies and TV shows, but I also want to make music. So just a whole bunch of different creative fields will be going on in there. I hope to be like, how Google is like the hub of like the internet. I want to be
Yeah.
like the hub of the entertainment industry. So, just
Mhm.
trying to figure out how to do that because I want to be everywhere. I recently had the opportunity to direct a pageant. Never have I really been behind the scenes, always been, working or at a photo shoot working, never been behind the scenes. And I had the opportunity to be behind the scenes. And I was like, I really like doing this. I like being behind the scenes. I like cueing people. I like, telling them to do this, telling them to do that differently. So I was like, I definitely want to have my own production company and not just, like I said, not just in the sense of, movies or TV shows, but with music too, with publishing books. So just different things like that.
Yeah. And I admire that because every time I ask my guests this type of question, the sky is honestly the limit. And they go off on all they want to do and how they want to create change where they are in the entertainment industry and how they want to be that hub for any and everyone for all
Yeah.
sorts of initiatives. So I really admire that. And I definitely want to encourage you and say that that's so possible for anyone in a sense, but particularly for you. I see you doing great things in the future. So I
Thank
really,
you so much. And same to you.
oh, thank you, girl. Thank you. So my very last question for you, because I know you have to leave, but I really enjoy talking with you.
Thank
Um,
you.
this last question, I ask all my guests this. It's kind of like end cursor to this whole interview, what Aspire to Inspire is about. And I'm just going to ask you, Aryn Wright Thompson, how do you desire to use your very own platform to inspire others you come in contact with?
Yeah, that's a great question. I just think I want to be able to walk into a room and no matter what somebody's field or job is, it could be completely different than mine and make sure that they know they can do it. So when I meet a person, I try to treat them with the utmost respect and kindness, hoping that I'm telling them, no, you can do this. I could see you doing that. So with my platform, helping to obtain positive experiences, I want to do that for children, especially because it all starts when we're young. And I had such a great childhood. I love my parents. They did an amazing job. Everybody around me did an amazing job. My village, I love them so much. And so they always taught me that I could do whatever I wanted. And I think that's why my mind is like, oh, I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to
Right.
give people the space where their mind can run wild. So with different churches, I want to start community centers, around the world and just showing them you could do this, like have different writing sessions maybe, or have a gym that they could go play basketball and if they want to be a basketball player. So just showing them your mind, you can do whatever you want, but all children need are resources. So all I want to be is a resource. All I want to be is have different stuff around the world so people know that they can follow their dreams. And I love children so much. And I think I had such a great experience as a child of knowing I could do whatever I wanted, and I want to give that to children. Not only do I want to give it to them, I want to give it to them without cost. So,
Yeah.
just being able to reach out to different communities and especially the Black community. I want to let children know they can do whatever they want to, and their mind can run so wild.
Yes. What I love about everything that you're saying, you're going to hear me saying I love because I'm very passionate about being of service to others. And I swear that the key of life is to be an outlet for those in need, be of service to those who really, really need it. And for you to have a heart to do so already at a young age, it's just proves that what's for you is going to be for you in the long run and that you're going to be an outlet for so many great things. So I truly admire you sharing what you desire to do with your life. It's truly amazing to see. And I, for one, can't wait to see all the things you do in the future. And so will our viewers.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Of course, thank you so much. And for the viewers who will be watching this will be uploaded to my YouTube video very, very soon. In the meantime, more interviews from industry professionals will be coming to you guys very, very soon. Aryn Wright Thompson, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. And until next time.
Thank you so much. I hope to see you again soon. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.